Okay. So development versus the environment. Okay. If you had to guess, what would you say this forest is? The Amazon, of course, right? That's where the most famous. That's where the largest deforestation is happening. Although, well, I'll show you this guys a little bit later. Actually, this countries in Africa that has a larger deforestation. That's we often don't talk about. Amazon for various reasons gets most of the spotlight. All right. Now, what is the cause of most of the deforestation? Cattle ranching. Well, cattle ranching by far is the major cause of deforestation. Okay. If you look at the picture here, these are burn marks. Right. These trees are not for lumber. They're not used for logging. They are cut down and burned. Okay. All right. So cut down and burn. Okay. So now why? Here's another picture. We can see the devastation, right, how it spreads. Right. So how this spreads out. Right now, want to begin to think about. Okay, well, we obviously this is a problem. This is not good. Okay, but what can we do about it? What should be the solution? I'm not going to offer you a solution here. I don't have a solution, necessarily, but I want you to think about incentives. And I think that's the missing part of the conversation that I find. And that want to try to understand who are these people? Who are these people that's doing this? Right? Why are they doing it? Okay. All right. So one of my former professor at UC Davis, I was very fortunate that he was an advisor to the Brazilian government. And so because of the project that he worked on, he was able to follow a Brazilian family. So this is the family that he followed for a couple of years, and they're at the frontier, right, quite literally, of this deforestation. Okay, and I just want to give you an idea of the living conditions that these people are under. Right, they don't have proper shoes, they don't have proper tools. Okay, and they're using very primitive, primitive and basic tools. Okay, this is not a good good condition. Right. Okay, now why are they doing it? Well, a couple of months goes by, they start clearing down some land. They're able to produce on that land. They're able to build a shed. Right, this is the shed the first property that they're able to build. And you see here, this is it's a little bit off the ground, but you still have obviously you don't have plumbing, no electricity, probably leaks. The straw probably leaks a lot, right? Bugs, mosquitoes, right? You're still pretty connected to nature here. Okay. All right. A few years later, you see processed lumber. Okay. Now, so much better leak protection. You're much higher off the ground, so you don't have to worry too much about if a flood comes, bugs, right? You can get a good night's sleep. Okay. Still no plumbing. Right? Still no plumbing, but much better, right? Much better than before. Okay. Fast forward a few more years, right? And now you have something that resembles more of a house. Okay. Maybe there's plumbing now. There's maybe with or without electricity, but either way, you have a roof, right? A real roof, right? And the kids, right? You're protected from the elements, and the kids can maybe go to and get an education. Right? This is their incentive. Right? They want these people, right, who are doing the deforestation. They want to improve the lives of their family, of their kids, and they're doing something that any of us would do. Okay, and so we got to find a balance. Right? Simply talking about banning deforestation is not going to it's not going to work. Or maybe it will, but I don't think that is the right approach. So we got to find a more understanding the incentive, understanding the situation and the option of these people, right, will allow us to find a better solution. Okay, so I don't have a solution yet. However, if we begin to think about their incentive, maybe we can find some clues, right, of how to find a solution here. Right. Again, remember here, right? Why is the Amazon? Why does prices matter? Well, this deforestation, the forest there has no value. Nobody wants to pay for it, right? So the rainforest as a forest has no value. The rainforest as land for cattle has more value. So therefore, it's going to be turned into cattle land, right? Same like these. This is the same story we had in Ecuador. right? Now, so if you begin to think about incentives, you can think about productivity, right? Because what's the goal, right? The people here, right? These people, their goal is not to cut down trees, right? Their goal is to make money, and provide for their family. Well, let's take a look here. Okay, one of the sad thing really about or the many sad things, but one of the, at least to me, very sad thing about the Amazon rainforest is that the land there in the Amazon is actually not very good for cattle ranching at all. Cattle is not suitable for cattle ranching. It's not very productive. Right? If the if these laborers, right, they can use the same land, but instead do any of these other activities, they could improve the profit much more. Meaning that they could make 10 times the amount of money using less land. Okay, so why are they choosing cattle ranching, right? So this is the thinking, right? This is how, as economists, we want to think about what's motivating them, right, to do something with this land, right, with their resource, but that's very unprofitable, right? Comparatively speaking, right, this is not making them that much money. Why don't they do this? And if they switch their operations, then could we have a better situation? They can still provide for their family and they can use a lot less land, right? Okay. So a couple of things you can think about, right, is well, capital, right? Maybe they are. And that's the most likely scenario. Maybe they're doing cattle ranching because cattle ranching doesn't require a lot of capital, right? Oh, sorry, for the land. So all you need is some axe, right? You can cut down the trees and set all you need is gasoline, so you can set the trees on fire, right? Whereas if you, let's say you want to grow fruits, right? So in California, we have a lot of fruit trees. Those fruit trees takes a lot of machinery and it takes a lot of investment because those trees often they don't bear fruit until maybe 4 or 5 years after you plant them. So you need financial instruments. You need to be able to take out loans, right? You need to take out insurance, crop insurance, in case if your crop dies, right? These institutions and capital are not available, right, for these farmers, and therefore they're choosing the best option, right, is cattle ranching. Okay, all right. So okay, so to wrap it up, environmental economics. What right? We discover a flaw, a significant flaw in the traditional view. Right, the traditional view of economics is, right, all resources is substitutable, and as the resource becomes more scarce, it becomes more expensive, then we will find alternatives, right, and then the system will work out in the circular flow. Environmental economics understands that not all things have prices. Therefore, right, things of value will be overconsumed or destroyed, right, if we don't put a price on it. And so it emphasizes this factor of production, right, is that we have natural inputs going in, and also it prices outputs. The pollution is it's not thought about at all in the traditional view of the market. But in environmental economics, right, we understand that there's a cost to pollution and waste, and so if you don't put a price on it, then you're going to over pollute, and so on. So environmental economics is about balancing economic activities and environmental impact. Okay, and we're going to take a cost and benefit approach to it. So that's gonna involve coming up with prices, coming with the value of things that traditionally does not have a market. Okay, so we'll talk about that very deeply. Okay, and we're going to talk about welfare effect, right? Just because something is bad doesn't mean that we should stop it. Okay, so there's going to be a kind of a very difficult question to answer, but we need to balance everything with a cost and benefit analysis. All right, but the whole goal, the big picture is we're going to integrate the environment into the economy. Okay, and then we're going to look at individual resources and environmental issues. Okay, so all resource, at least all valuable resource, are scarce, and that includes money. Okay, and so this will help us understand how much money society should spend on environmental quality and how environmental policies should be structured.